Just the right moment, and then he's going to kill me in easy.
Perfect. What NPR listeners can't see right now is that in the frame, Jonathan's Zoom frame, there's a paw with a knife.
Right. There's a cat behind me making the, slit your throat motion with his paw.
And one more day.
Okay. Here's your next clip. So Jenny, is that a cat, a sheep, or a human baby?
That's a human baby.
It's definitely a human baby, but I do not like Jenny Hagel. I have got to go sheep. It's a sheep.
You're gonna go sheep, just in case.
Sheep, final answer.
Okay. The answer is, it is a baby.
Baby.
All right, here's your next one. All right, cat, sheep, or baby, Amber.
Sheep.
A very strong vote for sheep, Jenny.
Cat.
Cat. Gonna go with cat. All right. Yep, sheep. Sheep. That is a lamb. What appears in the video to be at a petting zoo.
All right, here's another clip. Amber is smiling and nodding because I think she knows it. Jenny, you get to go first. Is that a cat, a sheep, or a human baby?
I'm going to say human baby, but Amber, I feel like it's going to get this right.
It is the funniest, America's Funniest Home Video ever. Because it is a cat, and what they did was they put subtitles underneath it, and the subtitles match up so perfectly to what you hear.
Yeah.
But cats don't speak English.
Yeah.
So it's friggin' hilarious.
Yeah. No, that's correct. It is a cat. That cat is named Marquis, known affectionately on the internet as the No cat.
Says no all the time.
Says no all the time. Unfortunately, he is no longer with us. He passed away in 2018.
I hope it's
Oh, no.
No.
That's what they said. I think that was the eulogy.
All right, great game. We weren't keeping score on that game, but Amber won.
I'd like to thank, I don't know, my parents, hard work, and myself.
After the break, we'll play another game with comedy writers Amber Ruffin and Jenny Hagel, and later I'll get out my tasting spoon for a chat with top chefs Padma Lakshmi. I'm Ophira Eisberg, and this is Ask Me Another from NPR.
Race is at the core of every issue this election year, from healthcare to the economy. And for a lot of folks, that's too uncomfortable to talk about. But I'm talking about it. I'm Rebecca Carroll, the host of Come Through from WNYC Studios. Join me for conversations with brilliant thinkers and activists Issa Rae, Don Lemon, Gabrielle Union, and others. Where is this country headed? Find out. Come Through.
This afternoon at 4, here on WJCT News 89.9.
I'm Christopher Kimball from Milk Street Radio. This week we chat with Lydia Bastianich about growing up in communist Yugoslavia, immigrating to America, and why she fell in love with Spam. Plus ice cream expert Tyler Malik rethinks ice cream flavors. Chicken liver, anyone? And Dr. Aaron Carroll and I discuss the ethics of cooking lobsters. Coming up this week on Milk Street Radio from PRX.
Sunday morning at 7 here on WJCT News 89.9.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation. For more than 90 years, supporting efforts to promote a just, equitable, and sustainable society. More at mott.org. And Home Advisor, committed to supporting local businesses by connecting project-ready homeowners with local home improvement professionals for hundreds of projects. Learn more at homeadvisor.com.
This is Ask Me Another, NPR's hour of puzzles, word games, and writing the next mediocre American novel. I'm Jonathan Colton. Here's your host, Ophira Eisenberg.
Thanks, Jonathan. We're playing games with two comics to write for and appear on Late Night with Seth Meyers, returning champions Amber Ruffin and Jenny Hagel. Okay, Jenny, I have to ask. You have your hair expertly French braided. Did you do that on your own? Are you that skilled?
Thank you for choosing CVS Pharmacy. We've stocked select popular over-the-counter items in the drive-thru for pickup with your prescription. If you are dropping off a new prescription, please make sure the name, address, date of birth, and cell phone number are clearly written on the prescription. A pharmacy team member will be with you shortly. In the meantime, take a look at the menu. Hello, the pickup is dropping off.
Picking up
Can I please have a patient's date of birth?
9/28/1983.
Last name, please.
Barth, B-A-R-T-H.
And so is mine. But if you press my hair straight, it would look like, you know how when kids draw a person and they just give them one line of Jenny.
Yes, sir. There's one ready for you for $3.60. That requires ID. Any questions?
There should be two.
Okay, let me see. I got the pain medication ready. What else you expecting today, sir?
I had it filled yesterday. It should be my, I think it's my Topamax.
That one is too soon, not until the 22nd.
Okay.
It'll be ready for you on the 22nd, which is 4 more days, okay?
Alright, so just send over my ID and card.
Yes, please, sir.
Why is there a blue box in here? Oh, just...
Yeah, you can go ahead and put it inside, please.
Okay.
The little box.